Okay, so welcome to Finex School Season 11. And as I mentioned earlier, we've been doing this since 2016. This is our 11th edition. Before we go on, a little overview about Finex Skills Hub. So Finex Skills Hub is a digital skills training hub. We specialize in training students and corporate workers in Microsoft Office tools. So our mainstay is Excel. We also teach PowerPoint, Outlook, Word, all those things that you can't do without in the office. But beyond that, we also teach data analytics with Power BI. We teach financial modeling too. So Finance Skills Hub is an approved training provider of the Financial Modeling Institute in Canada. That's the global body for financial modeling certification. We've trained over 30 financial modelers in Ghana. And in the community, we have our first chartered financial modeler and about 32 advanced financial modelers. So we also do low code app development as well. This is a sponsored program for ladies under 25. We've done 2 seasons already. And then we also teach coding. So the mission of Finance essentially is to bridge that skills gap between what we learned in school and work. We know that this gap is increasing day by day because truly we don't learn some of these skills, even if we do in a structured way in schools. Okay, so I always use my case as an example. I never even entered the computer room my entire university life. Okay, so how are you supposed to analyze data? How are you supposed to do financial modeling outside school? Most of us, when we get to the office, it is what our seniors know that they pass on to us. So what Finex is dedicating ourselves to is to research and find ways to help you master some of these skills, data analytics, business presentations, Excel for work, and all those things. Okay, to make it easier for you to save time and improve productivity at the office. That's our mission. And we hope that we are going to create a global community that is armed and skilled to save time and improve productivity. So that is about Finex. Now, what's new this season? For every season, the key feature is to bring you updated content and new skills for our students to learn every season. So, we have Microsoft 365 at the moment. There are lots of additions almost every 2 weeks. There's a new feature. When it comes to Power BI, consistently, they release updates every month. Okay. The tools are changing quickly. Okay, so what we do is in between seasons, we research and then find the new things that can help you improve. So you see the fact that even our old students keep on coming back to updates. So for us, it is very important we teach you what is new and relevant always. Now, our first module for this season is Excel for Work. This is the pillar for what we do. Microsoft Excel is the most popular business tool. In fact, Finex is built on Microsoft Excel. So our Excel for Work program is not just your typical theory approach, but we teach the concepts and then help you apply it to typical work scenarios. Okay, so that's why we call it Excel for Work. So we teach Excel for Work with all the latest tools. We say that in Finex, we don't use VLOOKUP, we use XLOOKUP because that is the modern way to look up information. So Excel for Work will help you save time on routine office tasks by mastering Microsoft Excel, right? Our second module is data analytics. Okay, so our goal here is to introduce you to Power BI, which is the leading business intelligence tool currently in that space. Okay, so we are going to teach you how to extract, shape, transform data with Power Query. So if you're a typical data analyst, you know that when data comes in, it comes in different forms and shapes. You learn how to use Power Query to shape it so that you can make some meaningful analysis out of it. You learn how to create the data model that is connecting multiple sources of tables for your calculation. You learn how to use DAX, okay, to create insightful calculations, and then ultimately design insightful reports. So that is our second module for this season. Then our third module is business presentations. This is by popular request. So season on season, we ask for feedback and our students ask for this. So if you are looking at creating beautiful PowerPoint templates like what you are seeing, then this season we are going to do even better than what you are looking at. So we are going to learn how to master the art of presentations with PowerPoint, design effective content for your slides to get the needed attention and results. Okay, so that is the third module. Usually we do financial modeling as the third module, but this season we are replacing financial modeling with business presentation. In April, we are going to dedicate the whole of the season to deep dive financial modeling. So those who are not seeing financial modeling here, it's just to make room for business presentations this season, which still adds to the skill set. Okay, so these are the three things we are doing this season. Of course, with new case studies and examples. We are going to walk through that shortly. Okay, so let's meet the team. Finex Skills Hub is made up of a large pool of skilled trainers and supervisors. So meet Bernard. So Bernard is a Microsoft MVP, Microsoft certified trainer, an advanced financial modeler, and financial FMVA. I'm not too sure the full name. So FMVA, those who know FMVA. So that is Bernard, ably supported by Osbert. So Osbert is also an advanced financial modeler, also holds an MBA. So Osbert, you'll be meeting him. We also have the Excel guy, Ferdinand. So Ferdinand is a Microsoft certified trainer and also an advanced financial modeler. And then we have Danilo. Daniel is also an advanced financial modeler and a chartered accountant who has decided to abandon ship and then teach Excel and AppSheet. Okay, so you meet Daniel as well. So we also have our in-house data scientist, Priscilla. So Priscilla is also an advanced financial modeler and Azure data scientist. So I'll be mostly handling the Power BI class with her. And then we also have Ernest Abwaji. So Ernest is also an advanced financial modeler, chartered management accountant. Okay, so we'll be meeting Ernest also in the business presentations class and other classes as well. Then Na is also a FMVA. Okay, so Na is also going to handle the Excel for Work class. A very, very patient teacher. Okay, so you get to meet Na. And then D Winger. So D Winger is also an advanced financial modeler and a Microsoft Office specialist, right? So these are your teachers, but we are also ably supported by two young ladies you can see currently. So that is Solace. Solace is our student coordinator, and then our designs are also done by Yvette. In due time, when you come around, you see Finex Skills Hub and the entire team. We appreciate the entire community, those who have been supporting us to bring the Skills Hub this far. Okay, so let's go straight to the agenda. And then, so after this overview, we are going to walk through the brochure. Most of you have it, but probably you have some questions that you want to ask. Okay, so we'll go through that. And then we'll go through the modules. Okay, so we'll showcase the course content, what you are going to learn. Okay, sometimes when you say DAX, people are not too sure what that means. What is Power Query? Okay, so I'm going to go through all that so that you are clear. And then we'll discuss logistics, what you need to understand and know to join us in person or online. Okay, and then we'll take your questions. It's going to be a very interactive session. So please feel free and then ask all your questions. Okay, so are there any questions now before I transition to the next one? So that's a quick overview of Finex Skills. If there are any questions, please, you can ask them now. Okay, so if there are no questions, then I'm going to share my screen quickly and we'll go through the brochure. So I'm sure most of you received it. And if there are some questions that you need to ask, then we'll go through together. Okay, so essentially, we have three modules this season. So the first one is Excel for Work. So let me go off the screen. Okay, so I'd like to welcome the rest of us, those who joined us later. If you just joined us, you are just going through the modules. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen for the brochure. Okay, so this is what we sent across. So I've covered the three modules that we are going to do this season. Okay, so what's new this season? I've covered that as well. And you have more reasons to join Finex Skills Hub. Our training sessions are workshop styled. Okay, so we adopt this approach so that we go at your pace, right? So even if you are joining us online, it is not going to be from just the instructor. We take your questions, we share screen, and then you're able to go at your pace. Okay. We have Microsoft certified trainers in the community. Okay. Now, the unique thing about Finex Skills Hub is that you are joining a pool of like-minded learners. Okay. The middle part of our name is Connect. Okay. So earlier we were having a very family discussion. Those who were new, you realize that we know ourselves already. We want you to be part of this because we believe that just beyond learning, okay, building a network also helps, right? So you will join a network of learners from various industry to enrich your learning experience and also get to ask questions. We also give you flexible online and in-person. Okay, we try to reach everybody. So you realize that online sessions are weekdays and Saturdays. Our in-persons are also weekdays and Saturdays as well. Okay. Now, beyond the learning, you have access to continuous learning resources. So you are part of our community. We share our videos with you. You have access to all the recorded videos in previous seasons for a lifetime. You get to ask your questions every time. Okay. I've also mentioned that we are approved training providers for the Financial Modeling Institute. We are Microsoft partners as well. Okay. So that is our community. Now, beyond what we do in Finex School, we also run some projects as well. So we have the Excel Our Girls project. Okay, this is a sponsored training for girls in data analytics, Python, and low code. That one is a sponsored program. So Yvonne, who's a member of our community, is spearheading that. Okay, so that is one of the things that we do. It's sponsored. Normally, when we open applications, we advertise and then qualified ladies join us. We also have the Finex project. This is our pro bono data analytics financial modeling project that we do at the universities. We are currently at the University of Ghana Business School. We've done that since 2017 and we've seen the fruits. Okay. Most of the facilitators you see in the communities in the Finex Skills Hub came from that project. Okay. So we also have our Finex School program, which is what we are currently doing. Okay. So those are the three things or programs that we do in our community for now. Okay. So let's talk about Excel for Work. Ferdinand is going to walk us through that shortly. But in terms of the key highlights, we are going to give you an overview of Excel, okay, help you get comfortable with Excel, understand the architecture, the calculation engine, and shortcuts in Microsoft Excel. We understand that Excel can be very overwhelming, okay, but we've dedicated ourselves to research and then give you a very structured way to learn this. We also master formulas and functions, okay. There are over 500 functions in Excel, okay, but you don't need all. In fact, you need just about 8 modules. Okay, so arithmetic functions, logic functions, date, lookup functions, text, and then the dynamic array functions. We'll go into all these. So once you get that firm foundation, then we'll learn how to simulate, okay, create, and then model, okay, and use the what if analysis tools like goal seek, data table, scenario manager, and solver, okay, to get insight and ask questions on your models. Okay, then finally, we'll cap the Excel work with the dashboard or data analytics with Excel. Most people know only pivot tables, but behind the scene, there's also Power Query, there's also Power Pivot, the data model in Excel, the use of slices, timelines. So that will be like our capstone project for Excel for work. Okay. Then we'll go to data analytics with Power BI. We'll deep dive here. So essentially the four pillars, we'll learn how to get or import data. Okay, so Power Query also is in Power BI. So you learn how to use Power Query. Then you learn how to transform and model data, okay, using a data model. You also learn how to calculate with DAX, a very powerful calculation engine. Okay, and then you also learn how to visualize data and create insight for reports. So that is Power BI. Then our business presentation with PowerPoint, you learn how to navigate PowerPoint, create insightful content for each slide, deep dive into what the slide master is to help you save time on repetitive slides. Okay. Then what we are going to do this season is that everybody is going to create their own content. Okay. And if you are joining us online or in person, we'll challenge you to go through a full presentation. We'll take feedback, correct ourselves. That's what we normally do at our corporate training sessions. We want to bring it in this season and then we see how it goes. Okay, so that is business presentations. Now, the mode of delivery. So essentially, we are giving you three learning options. The first one is the virtual session. Okay, so the virtual sessions, Mondays and Thursdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then on Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Right? So beyond today's class, we'll go into our regular schedule. Okay, so from next week, Saturday, and then on Monday, for those who are joining weekday, we'll go into our virtual classes. So in the evenings and on Saturday mornings, right? Then we also have in-person. So our in-person class starts at 9 a.m. and then we go all the way to 5 p.m. I'm going to break down the modules currently that we have. And then we have the in-person after work. So you can join us right after work, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We make this so that you can choose and then fit it in your schedule, right? Okay. Now let's talk about the subscription plan. So it's 1,500 per module. We had to adjust prices, which has been the same since 2016. Of course, we all know what has gone on, and we think that this is a good investment that is going to yield lifetime return. Okay, so we know this is competitively priced, and we have discounts as well. So if you are doing all three, you can take off 500 and pay 4,000. Those who are paying before, in fact, today we are going to end it at today. So if you pay by the end of today, you get a 10% discount off. Okay. And then if you give us a referral to paid referral, you can get 10% off as well. Our old students also enjoy a loyalty discount as well. Okay. So if you give us 10 people, it means you join for free. Okay. Okay. So that's that. Now, this is the timetable. So here on Mondays and Tuesdays, we have data analytics with Power BI, data analytics with Power BI, 6 to 8 p.m. So while the Power BI class is online, here at the hub, Excel for Work also goes on in person, 6 to 8 p.m. Okay. Then on Wednesdays and Thursdays, we swap Excel for Work online and then data analytics in person, right? So you can join one of the classes. The idea is that if you join the weekday class, please commit to the weekday class because in the weekday class, we go faster because we meet twice a week. But the weekend class, we meet once a week. Okay. So please note this. Okay. So for the weekend class, we have Excel for Work. So next week, Saturday, we'll start our Excel for Work class. Okay. And then we'll have our business presentations with PowerPoint in person. Okay. Then we'll follow the virtual class with analytics with Power BI. Okay. And then in the afternoon, we'll have our business presentations online. Then Excel for Work in person at the hub will also be running. And then we have data analytics with Power BI ending the day on Saturday. Okay, so that's about that. I've already gone through the team. You have their details here. So you can connect with us on our social media handles on our website as well. And then if you are joining us, you have not registered yet, please, it's important you register so that we can get your details for your receipts and your certificates as well. These are payment options. Okay, so you can pay to our bank account or this merchant line, and then we'll get back to you with a receipt. So I would like to pause here and then see if there are any questions. We'll take the questions and then Ferdinand will walk us through the modules for Excel for Work. Please ask your questions in the next 5 minutes. Thank you. So if there are any questions, please ask before we transition to Excel for Work. Okay, so I assume it was clear. So if Ferdinand is ready, so Freddie, please walk us through what we are going to get this season. So when Ferdinand is done with Excel, I'll also come in with a Power BI model. Okay, and then you get an overview of whatever is in there. So Freddie, if you are there, please share your screen and let's go through this quickly.
Good morning, everyone. So let
Good
me
morning.
kindly share my screen.
Okay, so while Freddie shares his screen, we welcome everybody. If you have any questions, please feel free. Those in the classroom, you can also ask your questions as well. Okay, so these are the topics that we'll be going through this season. We are going to take examples. Okay, so maybe you can also have your Excel on standby to practice along. So first, we start with tips and tricks to navigate Excel like a pro, right? In fact, if somebody comes to Finex, you realize how the person uses shortcut keys is different from a regular user. So Freddie, please walk us through what you should expect for tips and tricks to navigate Excel like a pro.
Okay, so as Bernard said, the first topic that we are going to learn is how to use our shortcuts. Okay, so tips and tricks to navigate Excel like a pro. So for example, I have this data and I want to, bring some borders around the entire data. So very common shortcut that you may know, Control A and Alt H D A, just to get your border. So as you can see, hello, is someone talking?
Freddie, please go on.
Okay. So as you can see, you can just create, your border lines like this. So now this is some of the things that you can do. And example is that I can also format these numbers so that they have some comma separated value. Okay, so Control Shift 1, and I get this formatted quickly. And what we also know as in Excel, dates are numbers, and we can also format those ones to to appear as what, as dates. So a shortcut to quickly do that, Control Shift 3. All right, and common problem that we also face in Excel are anytime that you type some telephone numbers, okay, you see that the leading zero will go, and people find it difficult to bring it back. So let's see how we can fix it quickly. All right, so Control 1, we go to custom, and just over here you just type 10 zeros, and then you should be fine. So if you have, let's say, 10,000 numbers and there are no leading zeros, that's the procedure. You just highlight all of them, and you just do your Control 1, and you're able to quickly bring the zero. So this be some of the things that we'll do for the first topic, and many more. So Bernard.
Okay, so great. I mean, what we do in the first topic is just to warm you up. So some of these shortcuts, the alt keys, the control shift combinations for formatting and all those things. If you are very observant, you realize that most people who use Excel very well do everything with their keyboard. Okay, there isn't a lot of reliance on the mouse. Okay, so in the first topic, we'll let everybody settle in and then we'll give you an overview of Excel and some of these shortcuts. Okay, so let's move on to topic 2. Now, basically, when you take Excel, you can use it for calculations. You can use it to enter data and store data, and then you can use it to analyze data. Okay, advanced users also use it for custom development like VB and all those things. But when it comes to calculations and cell referencing, okay, one important part you need to master is the art of cell referencing. Okay, it helps you calculate in bulk and all those things, especially in financial modeling. So in topic 2, we'll master cell referencing and learn how to create effective formulas. So Freddie, please, over to you.
Okay, so as Bernard said, this is a very important topic, cell referencing, and how to use it to create effective formulas. So as we all know, this is our multiplication table. So for example, I give you this and I want you to complete, the multiplication table here. So there is a quick way to do that. So let me quickly do it. So here, I'm going to use what we call the cell referencing to do this very quick. So as you can see, I'm picking the cells and I'm locking them so that, okay, so from here, I'm done locking them and I do this and I'm able to calculate this one at a go. So I'm not doing, cell by cell, calculation. I'm doing all this calculation, using just one formula. So this some of the stuff that we are going to learn during that topic, all right, and many more. So please kindly stay tuned. Bernard?
Great. Okay, so this topic actually comes with a challenge. So we'll give you a budget template and then ask you to complete it in 5 minutes. If you understand how cell referencing works, which cell to lock and all that, you realize you don't have to do it cell by cell. So that is the key objective in this topic. Now, after this topic, we are going to learn how to master what we call arithmetic operations, okay, or summing, averaging, counting based on criteria, okay. So, when you start Excel, it's sum, average, maximum, those basic functions. But what if you are asked to maybe put together the total salary of those in accounts and finance and all those things? So here you are going to learn how to do all these calculations with criteria. Okay, how many people were paid after the first quarter? Those calculations are what we will learn here. So Freddie, give us an example.
Okay, so this is a very typical example. So we have our data here. That's we have the name, the gender, the department, and the salary. And here the calculation that we want to get is to determine the total salary for those who are in the finance department. So to do that, we are going to use what we call the sum ifs. All right, so I'm summing this based on this criteria range, and this is the criteria here. So quickly, I'm able to get the total salary for those who are in finance. So we can even quickly check here. So we have here finance here and another finance here. So when we put these two together, that will give us what 9,000. Okay, 500. And another one too, which is the same. Okay, so again, that will be my sum ifs again. So apart from the sum if, we also have the count ifs, the average ifs, and no. All right, so these are some of the stuff that we are going to learn. So as you can see, they are very, very easy to really understand. So when you get to know it, you'll be fine. So basically, that's what we are going to learn. So Bernard?
Yes, I mean, this is a very fundamental topic. I've seen people color because they want to sum, right? So we'll give you how to do all these calculations based on the criteria. Okay, Emmanuel has a question. Emma, please ask your question.
Hello, Mr. Bernard.
Yes, sir.
With what our brother just helped us with, I am seeing we should determine the total number of females, but I'm seeing a formula being used as some ifs. I don't know if it's an error or if you can help us with that. Because
Okay.
I'm
So
suggesting count ifs, yes.
yes, great. So it should be count ifs. Thank you. Okay. So it means our student is already observing. Good job. Okay. So now, so that's 3 instead of the amount. Now let's go to logic function. So after learning sum ifs, count ifs, average ifs, and all that, okay, you now go into logic functions. What are logic functions? Okay, take this scenario. You are supposed to assign bonuses to employees who meet a certain condition. Okay, instead of printing out the payroll and using pencil and pen. Okay, with logic functions, if and or not X or those ones, it allows you to test values, okay, and then assign results based on a true or false output. Okay, so Freddie will walk us through this example.
Okay, so having our same data, all right, so here management decide to reduce salary by this criteria that we have here. So salary will be reduced if the salary is what above 4,000 by 15% or else by 10%. So we need to determine, the new salary. So let's quickly do this calculation. So here I take this. So here we are going to use what the if function. All right, determine whether the salary is above 4,000, and if it's above 4,000, the deduction will be 15%. If not, it's going to be 10%. And this is you can write the formula. As for the formulas, there are various ways that you can write it. So as you go along, you see how to quickly do that. So let's cross check the first one. So here, this is not above 4,000. So the deduction will be what, a 10%. So as you can see, 10% of 3,000 is going to be 300, and 300 out of 3,000, that will give me exactly this. So you can cross check all of this, and you can see that this gives me what, an accurate answer. So we'll learn how to, as Bernard said, learn how to use the if and the associated function like and or and all that to determine to determine a value based on certain condition that we have there. So Bernard, over to you.
Great. So if you are watching, this is for you to just observe. Don't feel intimidated. Don't also feel this is under you, because we are going to learn the concepts and also apply it to a lot of examples. Okay. So usually we start from basic examples to intermediate, and then you build your muscles all the way to advanced examples, right? So you realize that in the series that Freddie is going through, we are touching on the common functions in Excel, right? So sum ifs, the logic functions, and then look up, which is, I guess, the most popular activity that we do. Bank reconciliation. I have this list here. I have another list here. I want to see whether this is available here or not. Okay. I want to pull some information on a particular product or student from a database. All those things are done with lookup. But as I said, we don't teach one function. So we'll teach you how to use index and match. We'll teach you how to use VLOOKUP. Well, when we teach you VLOOKUP, in fact, it's with asterisk. It's just for you to know, but we don't encourage you to use it because of some weaknesses we'll share during the class. You learn how to use HLOOKUP as well. But hopefully, for those who have current versions of Excel, you also learn how to master XLOOKUP, okay, to achieve the same purpose. So, Freddie, an example of this.
Okay, so this is an example. We have here our student records, and given an ID, we want to extract, the name, the gender, the department, and the GPA of, that individual. So let's quickly write a formula. So here we are going to use an index and match, okay, to do that. So I'd rather say index and match. Index and match. So given this, I can now check maybe for this guy. So that is SR102. So which is here. So I'm able to extract the information for Sarah Boateng, okay, here. So these are some of the stuff that we are going to learn. Apart from the index and match, we also have, the XLOOKUP, a new function too. We can also use some of the common function, the new function that have come, like filter and all that. But we'll concentrate mainly on the one that people will use most often. So index and match. Bernard.
So we are going to be given a broad overview of all the lookup functions, and then we'll select which one we think you should use, exploring all the weaknesses and strengths in each case. Okay. So again, we'll deep dive into the lookup functions. Now, after we've covered some of these popular functions, we'll now go into how to clean data. Okay, so in fact, Power Query is dedicated to cleaning data in Excel, but it's not every data that you take to Power Query, right? So we'll learn how to use what we call text functions. Example, extract the first names in a full name, extract the last name, take off these characters. In fact, there are now new text functions that we are going to explore as well, beyond the regular left, mid, right, and those ones. So Freddie, please walk us through.
Okay, so here we have this data where we want to extract the name, the gender, and the department. I mean, there are various ways that we can do it. We can use function to do that. But for this example, I'm going to use some of the tools, okay, to do that. So here we are going to use what we call a text column. All right. So this is what I want to extract from. So I go to data and a text to column. And my delimiter is a comma, and you can see a preview here. And I just so as you can see from this data, I was able to extract, okay, this name into the various cells here. So if you can check here, this one lives in one cell, the name, the gender, and the department. But I needed to put them into the various cells here and the various columns that we have here. So we can also use functions to also do that. And in our training, we are going to focus more on the function, because as for the function, you can easily write a function and reuse it as many times as you want. But for some of these tools that I've just used, you have to come back and do the process again. But if you use a function, your process is done. Or maybe using Power Query, as Bernard mentioned, to clean your data, also make sure that you just do it once. All right, so basically that's what we are going to do during that topic. Bernard?
Great. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So we just even finished recording some videos on these, but they are supplementary videos. The goal is that you come to class, you understand these topics, and then as for resources, typically when you go, can you get notes? You get more than notes. Okay, you will be overwhelmed with notes and videos, and that is the mark of Finex Skills Hub. We just make sure that you become good evangelists for us out there. Okay, so that would complete the set of functions and formulas. As I mentioned, there are a lot more, but we normally group them under these modules that we've gone through. Okay, the aggregating functions, the logic, the lookup, the text functions, everything is in there, right? So after you've gone through some of these case studies, then we'll learn how to use what if analysis tools. Okay, so here we talk about goal seek, we talk about solver, data tables, scenario manager. Okay, when you're doing presentations, you don't have to create multiple versions of your work. No, with one data model, you can use some of these tools to simulate what if price was that, what if the FX rate was that. Okay, so those things. So Freddie, give us an example.
Okay, so here's an example of how to use GoSeek. So here we have 3 courses that we run: Excel, financial modeling, analytics. And the person has completed the 2 courses, that is Excel for work and financial modeling, and these are the scores. So now what the person wants to know is that the person wants to check how to get an average of 90. Okay, an average of 90 in these 3 courses. So typically, what somebody will do is that the person will try and figure out, some of the marks that the person should get for analytics, so that the average of the 3 is what is equal or greater than what, than 90. And mostly what people do is that they do try and error. Okay, but when you are using Excel, you don't need to go through that stress of doing those try and error. There are tools available for you to do that. So let's do the GoSeek. So quickly on the GoSeek, so you go to data, what if analysis, GoSeek here to a value of 90. I'm changing this up. So here GoSeek will go through and check, for the value that the person should get in analytics, so that the overall, score, okay, or the average score for the 3 should be what? Should be 90. So here I don't need to guess. I can just do this and, I get my answer. This is a very simple one, but in life we go through some complicated one, and I will see some of the example when we start the class proper.
Great.
Over to you, Ben.
Yes. So as I said, don't think this is too difficult. Don't also think this is too simple. It's just to let you in on what we mean when you see something like goal seek, okay, in the timetable. Okay. So it's just to give you an idea. Maybe your mind was all over the place, but this is to help you focus on what we mean. We'll go through how our workbooks look like, okay, so that you know how we take it right from concept all the way to examples. Then, as I mentioned, we are going to cap the Excel journey with data analytics with Excel. Okay, so here we are going to expose all the tools, Power Query, how to shape
Hello, Ben.
data, extract and transform data. So you have a certain SQL Server or SAP
Okay.
or some Salesforce Dynamics. Your boss gives you data to analyze every day. Okay, you can use Power Query to connect to this data source, shape it and transform it once. So those who have used Power Query realize that there's an embedded macro, sort of, okay? So you are able to now go through and then clean the data once. If new data comes in, it goes through the same process. We learn all data model, okay, to connect data from multiple sources, okay? And then we learn how to calculate DAX in Excel and then finally create the dashboard, right? So this is a sample dashboard that you can create. I don't know, Freddie, if you have some areas to point out to us.
Yes, so this is a dashboard that we are going to create during the training. Okay, so giving the raw data like this one. Okay, so this one are just figures and text. Okay, within this one, I mean, we can draw a lot of insights, but presenting a data this way to your boss is meaningless. All right, but you need to draw the insight from this data. So we are going to use Power pivot tables to create, this dashboard. So I mean, pivot table is not something that is difficult, but you need to learn some of the tricks to be able to, build an interactive dashboard. So as you can see here, I can be slicing by, the various years to see the data for the various years. And I can be asking questions to my data through, my dashboards. And that's, what we want to, teach you at the end, of the training. So get ready to, build this one at the end of the training, and go and show your boss that you really attended Finex, because that's some of the selling point for us at Finex. A lot of our trainees have developed, better dashboard than, some of the stuff that we are even been doing. And that's something that we really admire when people come to Finex. So Bernard.
Okay, so I mean, as for this dashboard, it doesn't rank in our top 20, but they say sometimes we make it a bit advanced for intermediate users. So we've watered it down a bit. So it will still cover some of the things that are useful so that you can be creative and create your own dashboard. We have already mentioned, sometimes we are wowed by the kind of dashboards that our students produce after the course. So generally, that is the walkthrough of the Excel program. If you have joined us previously, the case studies are going to change. It's going to act as a refresher for you. Okay, so you can build on. Are there any questions? If not, Freddie will quickly walk us through how the workbook looks like and then how to make use of it. There are some embedded resources in the workbook. Okay, so when you carry the workbook, you are actually carrying your notes, okay, with you. So Freddie, in the sense of few seconds, walk us through how the workbook looks like.
Okay, so this is an interactive workbook where you have all your notes and the videos that you need for your training. As you can see on this first page, we have the table of content, notes to gallery. So these are buttons, so you can click on any of them. When I go to the table of contents, and you can see here you have this button here to help us navigate through all the worksheets. All right, because we have a lot of worksheets here. So, and here the contents here, these ones too are also buttons. So you can click on any of them here and go to a particular maybe worksheet. So for example, if I want to go to the shortcut worksheet, I come here and I just click on that, and it takes me to to that particular worksheet, and I can use this navigating button to go back to where I was. So here, when I click on this one, I come back here, and as you can see, we've also have this one here, day, smooth, and all that. This one are self-marking exercise. So when we finish a topic, you come here and you mark yourself by just typing an X here. sorry, you type annex here, and you'll be able to what? To mark this place so that anytime that you are supposed to submit your assignment, we can track, where you are falling short, and if there is a need to provide additional resources, we'll do that. But when I come back to the cover page here, see that we note the note gallery. So I click on notes and I go to the various notes here. So these ones are links. Okay, so you click on them and you go to a particular topic that you want to learn. For example, I want to read about a table. So I come here, Excel table, I click on that, and it takes me to some notes here. All right, and I can read extensively on those ones. And as you can see also here, we also have a link to our website and our YouTube channel. You can also click and go. And when you go to the YouTube channel, please don't forget to subscribe. All right, so let me quickly come back here. So all these ones are links. You click on a particular one and you go to whatever that you want. And the first one, okay, helps you to download, the Finex, notes. All right, so let me quickly come back here. And we also have here a video gallery. Okay, so for the video gallery, we are still, compiling some of the videos. So we'll update it within the course of the week, and you have all of them here. So for example, with this particular one, when I click on them, I go to the YouTube channel, okay, to go and watch that particular, topic that I have here. All right, so, and we also have what? The assignments. So here we also are going to give, some assignments. So let's say your very first assignment for week 2, okay, that's a sales data. So when you come here, you click on that and it takes you to what? To that particular assignment, and you go and you complete the assignment and you submit this through your Google Classroom, and we'll mark it and return, the workbook to you. So basically, this is going to be an interactive workbook. All right. So normally all the topics will be here. All the topics for this season are in just one workbook. Unlike previous season where we have different, workbooks for the various topics. So basically, that's what you are going to use for this season.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Truth is, the Excel for Work team has done a lot of work on this. Usually, people have a lot of files at the end of the season. So what we've done this time around is to consolidate everything in one workbook. So even if you miss a class, at least you can still catch up. But, and I said that the videos here are supplementary. So we encourage you to come to class, understand the concept, ask your questions, okay? And then you can use the resources to dive deep into the lessons. Okay, so thank you very much, Freddie, for walking us through the Excel for Work package. We'll be transitioning to Power BI very soon. We'll give you a brief overview of what is in there as well. But before we do that, I want to pause and ask if there are any questions. So those in the classroom, if there are any questions, please let us know. So I see a question on the duration of the training. Yeah, so the duration of training is 8 meetings, depending on the module you signed up to for, right? Just to be clear, classes start next week and not today. Yes. So today is orientation. Okay, so just to help everybody settle in, we start the usual classes from Monday for the weekday people, and then next week Saturday. Okay. So if there are no questions, let me share my screen and then we go through what's new in Power BI for those who are doing data
Excuse me,
analytics.
I have a quick question.
Okay, Augustus, go ahead.
So, except for work, like the classroom, but they will not meet today. Is that so?
Yes, we'll not meet today, except for work. But those who will turn up, we
Monday.
would cover some. Monday is the first class for the weekday people, right?
All right.
So we'll turn up today. We'll cover. We admit that not everybody got the communication. So those who turn up today at 1, we still have a package for you. But the regular class starts next Saturday. Okay.
All right. Thank you. And then
So I answered that.
since I've signed me for Excel for work, I have other things to do. I can excuse
please go
myself
ahead.
for the other ones. Okay.
I suggest you
Please, I'm fine. We can go on.
what is in Power BI. So you did Excel alone. I think you should just stay for Power. Maybe something will catch your attention. So Robert
Yes, sir, I hear
asking,
you.
when is the financial modeling class? Thank you very much. Financial modeling has placed with business presentation this season, but we have financial modeling proper in Pro. Regularly, we have financial modeling as third module. Okay. But we want to try business presentations this season by popular request. Okay. And then we do financial modeling in April. So all the season we dedicated to financial modeling in April. Okay. Akpia, please go ahead with your question. Hi, Akpia.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, for me, a quick one. I've signed up for Excel for work and at the same time Power BI, but the thing is that I'm not so convinced with the flow that I will get. So I want to know how it's going to flow for me for the Excel for work and then the Power BI. I've signed in for the weekend online class, so I wanted to know.
Okay, so if you signed in for the Excel for Work class in person, then it means you'll be here at 1 p.m. for the Excel class. And then the Excel class will end at 3. Then right after the Power BI class continues on Saturday. So that's 3 to 5. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So 1 p.m. Excel for Work,
Mm-hmm.
then 3
Mm-hmm.
p.m. Power BI. Right. So in just
Okay.
yeah, so you
Okay.
get that
Okay.
done on Saturday. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Fred,
Good morning.
good morning.
I also want to find out if you've registered for a weekend class,
Mm-hmm.
right? And for one reason, for example, okay, so now the weekend class starts next weekend,
Mm-hmm.
but then there's for one reason or the other, you will not be able to attend that weekend class. Would you
Mm-hmm.
be able to attend the first class this week on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays to cover that? Then you continue the weekend class next weekend. Is it possible to do that?
Okay, so good question. So here's what we've done. For every in-person class, there's a mirror virtual class. Okay, so if you sign up for Saturdays in person, okay, your mirror class is a virtual class online on Saturdays. So if something happens, weddings, engagements, or something like that, and you miss a class, which we don't encourage you to miss classes as much as possible, to make a priority. But if you have to, then you can rely on the playback video for the mirror class online. Okay, so when people join us online, we record the session, and then you can use that to fill in the gap quickly and then join the next class. So the thing is, if you are doing Saturdays, please stick to the Saturday class. Then if you're doing the Monday, Tuesday, or the weekday option, there's also a mirror virtual class. Okay, so you can also take advantage of the recordings there. The difficulty is that the Monday, Tuesday, or the weekday class, they do twice. They go faster because they meet twice a week. Okay, so it's two things. Either you join the weekday class and stick to it, whether in person or online, or you do Saturday, stick to it online and in person. Does that help?
Yeah, I think that's fine. But then since the class is just about to start, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yes, and the weekend class, like you just said, the weekday class move a bit faster. If you'd want to start do the weekend class,
Mm-hmm.
right, at the start, And probably there's something very important over the weekend that you can't use it to start. For the start, all right, you want to do an in-person. You just want to do the in-person class other than the online. So can you, for the start, okay, because I know I'll miss the start on weekend, can I do the weekday to cover for that weekend alone?
Yes.
Then possibly subsequently you will come to the weekend and continue.
Yes.
Since they are always going to be ahead, so you can still catch up anyway.
That's fine. So we can accommodate that. But by default, so we can accommodate that. So if you want to maybe catch the first two topics because you miss a weekend or two, we have that flexibility for you. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Then that's fine.
Okay. So let me quickly go to the Power BI demo, and then we'll leave the rest of the minutes for this morning to answer your questions. So first of all, what is Power BI? So that is Microsoft's business intelligence tool, introduced somewhere in 2017. In fact, it's getting a lot of traction, right? So people have predicted that it's going to be almost the required tool, okay, that you need to master in any office space because we use data. Everybody uses data. Finance, HR, sales, everybody uses data, and we all want insights, right? Okay, so I'm going to take you back to our Power BI stuff. This is season 9. So in season 9, we concentrated on using the map, okay, to get insights, okay, on sales in certain branches, right? So every season we give you something, okay. So this was a sales report that we created, okay. So we had some analysis in there, okay. So this is going back in the past. This is not what we are going to do this season to give you an overview. So normally what we do is that every season we try something new, okay, to give you a broad overview of the concepts. Okay. Of course, we know that not all of us are in sales, but you can take the concepts and apply it to your finance or HR. Okay. So this is what we did in season 9. That was 2 seasons ago. And then just at season 10, we did this HR. Okay. So this HR dashboard also gave us insights on how we can use some dynamic calculations to generate some of these interactive reports, but bring in these pictures, see trends individual and organizational level and all that. Okay, so we just covered this in season 10. But we also want to challenge ourselves and our students. Okay. So what we are going to do this season is to bring something completely different. Okay, so in this season, in fact, what we want to do is to make it possible to simulate. Okay, so beyond the visuals, we spend a lot of time on the visuals, but this time around, we want you to interact with the report and then create some simulations, especially in this uncertain market environment where FX rates, inflation, and those things. If you're somebody in charge of monitoring budget, and here budgets cut across sales, finance, HR, we put this case study together, okay, to make it possible for you to take any budget dimension, compare revenue, cost, profit, okay, and be able to use these simulators. Okay, so what will happen if there's a change in FX rates? What if inflation goes up? Am I going to still be able to meet targets? What will happen if I change prices? What if demand goes up? So all those what if tools, we've embedded it in here, okay, to help you make decisions with the tool, right? Now, we're also going to learn that if I select any dimension, let's say Ashanti, okay, and then I click for details, okay, it zooms into that particular selection and then tells me what is actually driving profit, costs, okay, or revenue. Then it also breaks down the cities in that particular region, okay, for you. Of course, for us, we put this together, but normally we teach it in such a way that you can apply it to your work, okay. You are encouraged to even build better ones than these. Okay, so this season, we are going to learn these simulators, okay, in Power BI, so that it's just not the visuals, but you are using it as a decision-making tool, right? Now, one thing that we've introduced this season, which I believe is quite exciting, is the fact that you can actually switch the whole model from Ghana cedis to USD. Okay, so if I calculate, I can render the whole report, okay, using the USD switch. So I can go back and forth. I can also see the impact of an increase in FS rates, okay, on the model. So example, if I have, let's say I'm currently in 2023, okay, so if I'm in 2023 and I want to see my performance, okay, what would the impact of an FS be on my performance? So I'm able to monitor it against forecast and all that. So these simulators are there to help you also at least see things before they happen. Okay. So here, as I said, the learning in this season is to help you make your reports more interactive. Use it as a decision-making tool and not just a visualization, right? So as usual, we are going to go through Power Query. So I'm going to give you an overview of the data sets that we are going to use. So you go through how to connect data from multiple sources. Okay, so here you are in sales. Okay, your data is somewhere. You learn how to query the data. Okay, you learn how to create your calculations. Okay, as I said, we are going to make this very, very simple to do, even though you see the simulation going on. It is very easy to do. It's just to build your muscles, right? So the tables are here. Okay, and we'll calculate our measures, okay, and then finally we'll create our data model and then do our reports, okay. So we are building on what we did in previous seasons, but this time around we want you to do more than just the visuals, but to be able to put in some of these simulations, okay, in order to at least have a certain discussion with your boss. If he asks you questions on inflation, changes in price, and all those things, you can build a version of this that will serve your purpose, right? So for the Power BI class, it's going to be very exciting this season. Join us and we are going to take it from blank, okay? What is Power BI? What are the various views? How do I bring in data? How do I clean it? How do I do calculations? And then finally, how do I report? Right. So that is going to be the case study for this season. Because of time, I'm not going to dig in, but once we start class, you can ask all your questions. Okay. Are there any questions on this, please? Okay. If there are no questions, then I'm going to quickly walk us through the classroom. Okay, the online portal we are going to use for our learning. Now, for all those who have signed up for the online class, you are going to be given classroom codes. Okay, so if you have committed, maybe you are yet to commit. Okay, we have a list. We are going to send you codes for you to join your respective classrooms. Right? So you realize that we've been doing this for a while now. So we have a lot of the classrooms here already. So this is for, let's say, data analytics for season 10 weekday class. So whatever you've signed up for, you go into the classroom. Okay, so you meet your classmates. Okay, so for this weekday class, these people were here. Then we'll post announcements and everything here. So you get them in your email. So please check your emails for announcements. When we load playback videos, they will be here. Okay. But what is important is the tab called classwork. Very important. So what we've done is that we serialize all the topics from bottom up. Okay. So for those who joined last season or those who called this season, you realize I kept saying minimum 8 meetings. Sometimes, depending on the pace of the class, okay, we are not in a hurry at all. We normally add an extra session to just make sure that. So here you see you have 9 sessions instead of the usual 8. Okay, so the orientation video will be here. Okay, then you go into the various topics step by step. In each case, the playback video and any resource will be included. Okay, so you have this for life. Okay, so everything here is for you. even when you finish the class, you can always go back and then refer, right? So usually when the time for the class is up, you come into the classroom. Please take note of this under stream, okay? And then you join, okay? So you don't have to always look for a link, okay? Anytime you enter the classroom, so you're signed up for Excel for Work at 9 a.m. virtual. You come to stream and then you hit join and then you are live, okay? In the first topic, we'll show you how to share your screen, how to follow the instructor, how to practice along, okay? You're allowed to even join with double gadgets. So maybe you have a phone, you can use the phone to share your screen, and then your laptop is for practice. Okay, it is not a presentation, it is a teaching class. So you're not joining to listen to instructions, you are joining to do after the teacher, right? So this is what you use to join, and then after you would get the playback video as well. Please, even though we are getting resources, you are encouraged to be part of the creation of the content. Okay, you don't want to listen to people's questions. Okay, join the live class, ask your own questions, get answers so that it is part of the recording. Okay, we normally have situations where people think because the playback video will be available, I am going to watch football or something. No, you've invested time in this. So make it count by joining and contributing, right? So we also give assignments and we monitor. Okay, so you would assign, um, we'll give you assignments, okay, and then grade. We will make sure you learn. Okay, so please make sure the investment also pays off, right? So that is how the virtual class is going to be. So what it means is that if you have signed up for Excel for Work, data analytics, and business presentations online, you get 3 classrooms. If you signed up for one, you get 1 classroom. You signed up for 2, you get 2, right? So that is how. And then when you log in, classroom.google.com, and you sign in with your Gmail, you see all the classrooms listed after you have joined, right? So that is how the online class is going to be. It's been very effective. I don't know if BC is here. Hi, BC.
Hi, good morning,
Oh,
Bernard. Hi, yeah. Yes, it has been very
yes.
effective and very
So,
good. And practice is key. One of the main reasons I'm still here, I haven't practiced enough. So I'll give that message to everybody. It's a good idea to try and practice as you go along. Because once you fall behind, then I guess it's harder to keep up with and practice. So it's been really enlightening.
this is a bit
I've
far away
really
from her
taken on
mic.
board. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, a bit far away from. I know you are driving, but they're a bit far away
Yes,
from the
okay,
mic.
let me turn it up. Oh, sorry. Yes, so what I'm saying basically is that it's been very useful for me. I've taken on board a lot of the new Excel functions, which I'm using and I didn't even know about before. So for me, it's very good and I keep going because it keeps me practicing. The fact that I have to attend every week, it encourages me to practice.
Fantastic. So I was looking out for BC because BC is in the UK. She's joined us for, I've lost count, almost 5 seasons. And she is a true reflection of how effective the online class is. Okay. So BC, thank you so much. We appreciate your consistency. So in fact, she even passed the advanced financial modeler certification through that. Okay. So it's not a typical Zoom meeting, no, but we've made it possible for you to learn while you are at home or you are engaged somewhere. Okay. Okay. So for the in-person class, it's business as usual. You turn up at the time that you have been given. We have our class. Okay. There's a lot of interactions here as well. And then you you enjoy meeting other people. So that is about it. I think I have covered everything. I'll leave the next 5 to 10 minutes for questions and answers, the ones we've not answered. So please ask all your questions today. And then next week, Saturday, we start class for virtual and in person on Saturdays. Then Monday evening, first class for weekday, Excel for work starts. Right. So at least I hope that is clear for everybody. So let's go into the questions right now. The team is here. Yes, Fred.
Yeah, hello. Yeah,
Yeah.
please, I want to find out. We didn't touch much on the PowerPoint presentation. There was no walkthrough on that.
Okay. Okay. So I think I missed that because, in fact, the example we are going to use is similar to what I used to introduce Finex. So let me quickly touch on the business presentation as well. So our challenge for this season is we want to create something, but it's just about 5% of this. So we want to learn how to create something like that. Okay. So for me, it's not the case study per se, but to understand the elements, right? So what does it mean to use the slide master? Okay. It helps you to create a template for your design, especially when you have logos and all those things, right? We'll learn how to use animations and transitions. If you realize, we posted a video on how to use the Zoom feature. Um, a lot of people don't know these things as this. So for zooming, it allows you to drill down on some of the details of your key points. Okay. You also learn how to use morphing. Okay. So in morphing, you transition smoothly in between the slides. Okay. So you are able to learn how to do that and then move from one slide to another, using what we call the Prexy style. Okay. So if you're looking at this is the minimum you are going to create. The full slide will be shared with you, but you are going to create your own and then be able to present it. Okay. So in the business presentation class, we are going to divide it into two main blocks. The first one, you will learn how to put the slides together, okay, using a consistent theme, using a consistent slide master. Okay, we'll learn how to put in shapes. Okay, you'll learn how to put in charts. Okay, especially the charts. Okay, to make insightful reports. Okay, now the reason you don't have the complete book here is that we want you to create your own story. Okay, so we're not going to do after the teacher. We'll teach the concepts, and then everybody is going to come up with their own business presentation. Then after, we use the last two sessions to talk about the business presentation proper, your body language. Okay, what does it mean to rehearse presentations? Okay, there's even now an AI coach embedded in the Microsoft 365 version. We walk through all of that so that you are a bit more confident when you are presenting. Okay, so we walk through the PowerPoint content creation and business presentation as the third and final module. Okay, so please come prepared. Those who are joining us online and in person, that is the journey. Okay, so there's a lot in there. I don't know if I've covered everything here. Yeah. So Fred, essentially, you're going to create something better than what you just saw, right?
All right, thank you very much, Ben.
Okay. There's another question. 4. Okay. Please go ahead.
Bernard, hi. Can you hear me, please?
Hi. Yes.
Can you address the question in the chat room?
Okay. So there's a question from those who are joining in person. I think the PowerPoint class will end at 10:30. Now, there's a gap from 10:30 to 1 p.m. It came up that why do you have to wait from 10:30 to 1 p.m. to have my Excel for work class? So we want to discuss with those who are coming in person today, if you all agree to move the Excel for work class forward. Okay. If not, we'll find a way to fill in the gap. Okay. So that you don't have to wait throughout. So it's a concern we are going to address this afternoon for those who turned up and currently are in the classroom. So it's well noted. Solis, Is that all?
Yes, please. That's all from this side.
Okay, I saw other hands up.
Yeah, hi. I want to join the weekday virtual class, but I'm not available on Monday and Tuesday. So can I take that on Saturday instead, the Saturday virtual class?
Okay, so as I said, we are flexible. We can accommodate you. The only challenge though is that the pace of the two classes may be different. So if you're okay, you can join the Saturday class, and then maybe you can pick up the playback video for your regular class after. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Kwabla, I see you have your hand up.
Hello. Hello, please, can you hear me? Can I ask a question, please?
Yes, please go ahead.
All right, so my name is Chris.
Okay.
Two questions quickly. I wanted to find out if at this point you want to register for an additional class, is that allowed? I have registered for only one, but looking at the what we've gone through so far, I mean, I'm being enticed to take additional one. Is that allowed? And then the second question is, if I go through the weekend sessions, but then for just purposes of meeting others who are doing the same thing as myself, who are in the in-person class, is it allowed that in the evening? On the weekend, I could pass through and still join the class of what I've already learned during the evenings, I mean the weekday evenings. Will your flexibility still allow that too? Thank you.
Yes. So on the first one, as I said, I know I said something about if you register for one, don't go till you have seen the rest. So of course you're allowed to increase your subscription. In fact, it's our wish that everybody would do all three, but we also appreciate that people want to take it pace by pace. But if you want to do an extra one, you're allowed to register and also add that one. Now, in the second question, yes, we are flexible, as I said, as long as you are okay with the pace, you can crisscross. It's one value we give you because in Finex, you are joining a community. So as long as your schedule allows you, feel free, crisscross. What I mentioned though is that the pace may be different, but as long as you are able to fill in the gaps, please join the class that you think would help you. Chris, are you okay?
Sure, I'm okay. Thank you very much.
Yes. So, Araba, Bernard, please confirm if Power BI weekend class starts today. Yes. Today is like topic 0. We actually have made provision for those who are turning up this afternoon. When you come this afternoon, we are going to go through the installation, the overview, and all those. Those things take some time. So, but if you miss it, no problem, because topic 1 will be next week, Saturday. Okay, so if you can make it, we've made provision for you, come. Okay, but if you can't make it, we are not going to do topic 1 today, but we are going to use it to create an overview or go through the process. Okay, we are doing that because not everybody got the communication that today is an orientation. So please come if you can. We'll go through the overview. Okay. There was another question. Are you doing introduction today? Yes. So that ties in with the earlier question. Today is dedicated to orientation and introduction. So at least for the virtual class, we're not going to have any other class apart from this today. But for the in-person, those who turned up, you've turned up, so you have to get value. So once you are here, you get value, go through topic 0. And then those who are coming at 1, please come. And then let's discuss the meeting times and all those things, right? At least come and see Finex Skills Up and then get to know the location and all that. Okay. Any more?
Hi, Bernard. Dean here.
Yes, Dean. Yes, Dean.
Yeah, I was trying to just ask quickly, yeah. Are we doing an introduction like today and then continue with those who are having like the weekday session for Monday, or we are starting all today?
No. So we start the weekday on Monday.
Fantastic. All right.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. But just like the other participant just asked, I'll not be available for Monday and Tuesday as well.
Mm-hmm.
How do I rope in those classes?
So in that case, you have to rely on the playback video for the Monday and
playback
Tuesday.
video.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you so much.
Sure. So please, if you have made commitment, that is, if you've paid, please reach out to me for your receipts. We'll send you the code to join the classrooms by end of day. Okay. If you're yet to commit, I would encourage you to commit as quickly as possible. Especially for the in-person class, we have a limited capacity. We have just about 22 seats. Okay, so please commit, and then we can have a clear idea of the number we are working with. Okay, so we are available. If you have any questions, please send me a WhatsApp message. Otherwise, we'll round up this orientation class now. So want to extend our gratitude to you for signing up for this season. You are not just coming to a class, as you've realized. Finex is a bigger community than just a training class. So after your graduation, you get your certificate, all right? We'll prep you to write some of the global exams. Okay, so example, the PL 300 for Power BI or Microsoft. Those who are doing financial modeling will prep you how to write the certification in April. So it is more value for just signing up for a class, right? And after you graduated, would add you to a very vibrant, active alumni group, okay, where we share ideas. The learning continues over there. We post job vacancies and all those things. We discuss topical matters and all that. So welcome to the community. We're happy to have you, and we hope you get value for your investment. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. In about 4.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.